Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Did you hear this movie was dangerous?
Yeah.
And you watched it anyway?
Yeah.
Did you die?
I don't think that I did.
All this and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And this week we are reviewing the movie Antrum. Yes.
The deadliest film ever made.
They need to stop
doing that?
Yeah. It's like, oh, this movie was so bad. Most people walked out and vomited. And then you watch it and it's the most dull, boring, nothing happening.
Well, and even
was
the
that
movies...
last one like that Netflix did?
Oh, Veronica.
Yeah.
We reviewed that.
It was
not
fine.
Not really.
Right. Like, it certainly didn't make me want to shut it off and run because I was afraid.
Even the movies that they say actually do that, like Scarface. Oh, people puked in the theater. Why?
Some people puke easier.
From nothing?
Well, listen.
From a guy living in Miami or whatever?
Yes, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the premise. Some guy thought he was very artsy and decided to make a movie.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be horror, so he added a bunch of satanic imagery that didn't have one thing to do with the other and just a bunch of weird stuff. And he basically wanted people to go, I don't get it. And then he could say, that's because I'm smarter than you. That's what this entire movie was.
Yes.
And in case you want to try to, you can watch till the end, but you could probably guess I'm not going to give this a very high rating. Please watch to the end, though.
Yeah, I mean, all the way.
We've only got 2 more episodes before we take a break for a while because this guy's going to be a father.
Yep.
We got 1 more after this. Next week, we'll be airing a new episode, and that's it.
Okay. It'll be our Christmas episode.
Yeah, it'll be it for the year and probably the first few months of next year anyway.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will be back, though. We're not done with the show. He just wants to spend the first few months with his kid, not worried about horror movies. He wants to worry about his kid.
Making sure he watches the right ones.
Yeah. The first episode back, he's, we got the infant here. It's like, so we had him sit through. No. Anyway. What do you want to say about what this movie is? Premise-wise.
So, a kid and his sister, which it makes very clear throughout the entire film.
Yes.
Go to dig up a hole to save the soul of his dead dog.
Who is in hell.
According to his mother.
And he believes, too.
Yeah, because his mom wouldn't lie to him.
Well. And it's supposedly at the spot where Satan fell when he was kicked out of heaven.
Yes. That's everything.
I mean, that's the storyline.
Oh, actually, then they lost this movie.
Oh, yeah. Then the premise is they lost this movie because it was accidentally killing people. They would watch it and get disturbed, and then a week later would be dead.
Well, that was the second time. The first time, they all died in a fire at the theater playing the movie for the first time with the only copy of the film.
I can say that the way this movie dragged, I was wishing I was... No. All right, why don't we play them the trailer in case it makes them excited to watch this thing.
This is the forest where the devil landed when he was cast out of heaven. And at that spot, we'll find the entrance to hell. The Antrum. The deeper we dig, the more the forest around us becomes darker. And with each layer that we pass, deeper in hell we'll be.
You have now watched something way more interesting than the actual film that it represents. Anyway. Hey, I'm not good at holding back my feelings when it comes to certain things.
No, you're not.
You know this.
I do.
You either. Like, you can usually see it on your face.
Oh, yeah. So, now you've all seen the trailer.
Yeah.
And this is the part where we get paid?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean the 7 or 8 that I send the link to, that watch this show weekly, might think that we do this because we love horror movies. Actually, they hear this every week, so they're the ones who know better. But anyway.
Yes. You, the lucky 8th viewer.
Yes. Hey, we're almost a double digit. No, we got like 97 subscribers.
Yeah, we got like... really?
Yeah, they don't all watch.
No. We got like 100 views on something recently here.
Oh, we've had some big views on a couple of them. But
I'm pretty excited about the next one with the viewership.
Well, anywho.
Yeah.
What we do here is we pretend we like horror movies so that we have an excuse to have a show that we can then use our influence to sell products.
Yeah, our influence.
Yes. To those 8 people. Anyway.
Yeah.
This week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by Blame the Audience, the newest class available from GST's online film school. Blame the Audience teaches you that your artistic choices do not make your movie bad. And if the majority of people claim it does, you get to blame the audience. It's offered as part of our Take No Responsibility courses. Blame the Audience is bound to make you feel better when you start reading the crappy reviews.
Well, okay. And by Satanism for Dummies. Do you believe that there is a God and a devil, but still don't want to be a good person? Satanism for Dummies is a simple guide to worshiping the king of evil. From sacrifices to rituals will have you bound for eternal damnation faster than those other satanic books. Satanism for Dummies, because who else would choose Lucifer?
Other than a dummy. I mean... Anyway, all right, now we're going to get into the behind-the-scenes facts, or as what he likes to call them, is the meat and beef of the show.
Or as I like to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
You want to go first? You want me to?
Oh, I can go first. There are several phrases in Latin scattered all over the movie. These phrases are shown in at least one frame. Abyssus, abyssum invocat, deep calleth unto deep.
That's the translation.
These words are part of Psalms 42:7.
Facilis descensus Averno, the downward path to hell is easy, is from Virgil's Aeneid, Book 6, line 126.
Cave hominem unias libri, beware the man of one single book, a variant of homo unius libri, a phrase attributed to Thomas Aquinas.
Nihil prestius veritate, nothing more beautiful than the truth, is attributed to Francisco Sanchez de la Brozas from his opus Minerva, or About the Causes of Latin Language, in Book 1, Chapter 1.
For Antrum's occult aspects, director David Amito and Michael Laicini studied various historical and cultural depictions of demons and the devil for inspiration, with their shared interests in religious imagery and supernatural also factoring into the development of the film's script. Most of the symbols and runes depicted in the film were taken from 17th century text called Lesser Key of Solomon.
The language spoken by the two men next to the metal statue is Romanian. Yeah, that's the cleanest way possible to describe those two.
Yeah. The two men, yes. Antrum was developed by David Amito and Michael Laicini during the development on a separate project in which they were brainstorming possible scenarios that they could include in the film. The central idea that would later become the basis for Antrum came from the concept of what it would be like to watch a purported cursed film, which the filmmakers felt would make for a great horror film.
For the film's occult aspects, Amito and Laicini studied various historical and cultural depictions of demons and the devil, while further inspiration came from a short film by David B. Earl titled Dining Room, or There Is Nothing, which Laicini claimed to have seen while in film school. I told you it was film school jerks trying to be all artsy. Didn't I say that?
You did. And it was true.
And I said it without knowing the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yep. The makers of the film purposely did the editing to feature a new and equally different type of sound frequency that is rumored to have a negative effect on your nervous system.
Was it a boredom sound? Because I was bored.
It was the brown note.
It was the brown note, yeah. No, that would have been way more exciting. Ironically, American child actor Rowan Smith previously starred in the Christian film I Believe before making this film about a boy who tries to find his way into hell. Okay.
Antrum made its world premiere at the Brooklyn Film Festival on October 14th, 2018, and was screened at other film festivals where it was nominated for several awards.
Scenes involving Nicole Tompkins and Rowan Smith's characters were filmed in a 100-acre privately owned forest. The 100-acre wood? It's connected to Winnie the Pooh.
To a better movie?
Yeah. Yes, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is way better than this movie. A lot of people will hate hearing that, but it's a fact.
I don't care.
But anyway, they had been granted special permission to shoot in this forest.
Principal photography took place in Southern California over a period of 1 month.
Uncorked Entertainment acquired North American distribution rights and released it video on demand and streaming services in fall of 2019.
About 56 minutes into the movie, the first interesting thing happened. 56 minutes into the movie, Nathan comes out of the water and starts speaking backwards. What he's saying is, I saw people in the water.
The construction made to burn persons was inspired by Baphomet, the Sabbatic goat, from Dogme et Rituel de la Haute Magie, written by Eliphas Levi circa 1856.
Rotten Tomatoes exists.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Were you bored by us reading Latin poorly? Now imagine how we felt watching this movie. Anyway, every time
how
Latin
I felt
showed
trying
up on
to
the screen, you were like, "Pause. What's that say?" And I'm like, I don't speak Latin. And you're like, well, what's that say? I still don't. I'm like, I haven't learned it in the last 20 minutes. I don't know.
That was his fault.
Yeah.
It would have been more interesting than continuing the movie. Go learn Latin.
Rotten Tomatoes, for those who don't know, is just a site that takes all the critics that they recognize, and we are definitely not two of them. No. And they combine all their scores and they just divide them into positive and negative.
Yes.
And their percentage that they give is just the percentage of critics that gave it a positive score. A lot of people get all butthurt when their movie does bad on there. It's like, no, they didn't rate your movie a 20.
They just told you what everybody else did.
Only 20% of the critics liked it or whatever.
Right.
And in this case, how much of the critics liked it?
79% of them watched this movie and must have closed their eyes because they said it was good.
Yeah, they dreamed a better movie. And the people who can also vote have it at 48%, which I find rather high, but not as high as 79%.
Not as high as they must have been when they were...
Yes. No. Oh, my God. Being high would have made that even more boring.
I would have been depressed.
Right? Like,
no.
You need something to happen funny or...
Scary.
Something.
Anything. Not just, like, a bald guy staring at me.
Yeah. Every once in a while, there was just, like, a face that would appear in the film and just be like... Ooh. You see the hairs on my arm laying down? Anyway. What was your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part... Oh, boy. The marketing? Unfortunately.
Made you want to see it.
Yeah, like Insidious. They must have had the same trailer house as Insidious. Because the trailer and marketing around this movie made me go and print it on demand.
Yeah, you paid to have it.
Printed on a new disc.
Yeah, they didn't have it released. They just had it where they would print it on demand for a certain amount of money. And he had them do that.
I spent money on this. And yeah. So the marketing was
You'll never
awesome.
see that money again.
I will not.
All right. And, of course, then there's my favorite part. I guess it would have to be the Baphomet cooker.
Yeah.
It was a big metal Baphomet that, like, they put a woman in at first, and then they went to put one of the main characters. I won't spoil it for anyone that decides they're going to trudge through this.
Right.
Because it was the literal only thing that made me go, ugh. Like,
yeah.
It was the only thing that gave me the heebie-jeebies at all.
Yeah. That and the very ending was like, ooh, a little bit.
But see, you notice we usually go with the thing we hate the most first, but that's usually because we like the movie. Notice how we started with what we liked first? That's because we didn't care for it. Now, for the easier part, what did you hate about this movie?
Oh, what didn't I hate about this movie?
What was the thing you liked the least?
Oh, boy. Actually, probably, like, the people at the beginning. Because they were doing what the marketing already had done poorly.
What's that?
Tried to convince me to watch the movie.
Oh, the little fake documentary.
The little, like, 20 minutes of the beginning of the movie was a bunch of different filmmakers. Yeah, oh, my goodness, they found the movie. Why would they do that? That's so dumb. Why would they make you watch this? Don't watch this.
All right.
I should have listened to them.
My least favorite part is that...
That I spent money on this?
No. I like weird to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I do like weird, but like there should be something cohesive about the story. Because it goes from this is where the devil landed to here's a book that, you know, is telling us how to dig into hell to, oh, I made this book and it's not real. And it's like, but stuff was happening.
But there was like a naked Japanese man and chains flying around.
was just
like a half-naked redneck man trying to kill us.
It was definitely people taking classes that think they were being artistic, putting as much artistic stuff together as they could, and none of it worked with the other parts.
Yeah.
Nothing worked together.
It's almost like one of those movies with multiple stories in it, where 3 different directors were making 3 different movies, couldn't think of how to start, finish, or be in the middle of them, so just edited what they had together.
The timeline was more confusing than the X-Men stuff from Fox.
I don't know what was going on with this. And then there was that couple in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, we never got an answer back
on a
to
scale
them.
of 1 to 10.
Oh. 2.
2?
Because it's better than a 1.
That high, huh?
Because it convinced me to watch it.
Yeah, you convinced me to watch it. I hadn't seen the trailer, so I can't even give it that. I'm going with a 1.
Yeah.
I'm going with a 1 because I've done zeros. There are actually movies worse than this, but not too many.
Deathbed.
There are movies worse than this. I didn't want to get into them, but yes, Deathbed is one of them.
Monster. I don't think we hated it that bad, did we?
No, Monster at least had the fun idea that it was a monster poop.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, this was just poop.
Nah, this was just poop.
So, yeah, 2 and 1. So
Yeah.
now that stuff on the side comes up.
Yes. You can watch this show on Channel Fact TV, Channel 1082.
Channel Fact TV channel?
Yes. 1082. Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can check us out on Facebook, and by us, I mean Gory Storytime and Fact TV.
You can go to fact8.com, watch a bunch of back episodes of this, as well as many other shows.
And you can follow us on X, formerly Twitter. I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase. I've lost quite a few followers in the last couple weeks, not because of anything I've done, but because a lot of people are just bailing on
X.
the app.
Yeah. And I guess that makes the numbers go down, right?
Yeah.
I'm at Jiggly Firm Brain. I only tweet things that he says that I find funny in or out of context, and I really kind of don't.
Right, it's been a while. So that's about it.
Yes.
All right.
I've been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and sweet dreams.